Les Penix, President of the Nicholas County Board of Education. I'd like to welcome this large crowd tonight to this regularly scheduled May the 2nd, 2022 regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education. I'm calling the meeting to order at this time. Would you please rise and join the board in running a silent reflection? It gives us opportunity to reflect on those things for which we have to be thankful, but also to clear our hearts and minds for the business we're going to talk about here tonight. So a moment of silent reflection, please. Thank you. Would you please join the board in saluting our country with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Our first order of business this evening is item number 3 on your agenda, approval of the minutes for meetings held on April the 4th, April the 19th reconvened, April the 19th regular meeting, and the 28th, the budget session. You received those electronically. Are there any questions in regard to those minutes? Hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for meetings held on April the 4th, April the 19th reconvened, April the 19th regular, and April the 28th special?
So moved.
Mr. Amick moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mrs. Kaufman wins on that one. Any further discussion in regard to minutes for those meetings? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. At this time, we are going to move into recognitions, and I'm going to turn it over to
Tom Bayless.
Tom Bayless. While he's coming, I'd like to thank all of you all for coming out tonight, and we have a lot of awards here. We're very proud of our students and our teachers for all the accomplishments that they have made, and we're just real happy that we can recognize them.
Thank you, Dr. Penix and the board. I want to thank Dr. Kendrick and all the board members for allowing us to recognize our students tonight. I don't like that thing, Melissa. We have a lot of great things happening in CTE right now. We have a lot of students here, and we have a lot of accomplishments to recognize. And that's only possible because we have a great team, and we work together really well. Our board and our superintendent all work together and go above and beyond to support us in every way, shape, and form. Our teachers and our advisors and our parents all work together to support our kids, help us with trips, so we really appreciate that. So we have a great team here in Nicholas County, and I'm really proud to be part of that team. So I'm really looking forward to see what these students can accomplish in the future, and I'm really looking forward to these students at nationals. So remember, most of these students we're recognizing tonight will go on to attend at a national competition coming up in June. So please keep those kids, keep looking for updates on our Facebook page for these students, because I anticipate very good things to come from them. So I don't want to take up too much time. We have a lot of accomplishments, a lot of people to recognize tonight. So if the board's ready, if you guys want to come up, Melissa, do you want up front?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, we don't have much space. It might be better for you.
Just to stand up?
Just to stand, yeah, for us to stand.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
Ms. Cooper, we'll turn it over to you. Let's get started.
Programs at the Career Center. I teach the business program and careers in education. And part of the business program is FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. And I took a group of students to Marshall in the spring and had several placed in the state. So a few of them are here, some couldn't be here, but I'll just recognize everyone who placed at state competition for FBLA. First place, we had Noah Minor for securities and investments. First place, we had Braden McPherson for Introduction to Financial Math. We had second place, Olivia Helms for UX design. Third place, Abby Hamrick in marketing. Fourth place, Caitlin Taylor for cybersecurity. And then we had a team that placed fourth in graphic design, which was Julia Miller and Damian Harada. I guess you two were the FBLA that showed up. That's all the FBLA state winners.
Yeah, we'll just put them all up here.
Okay, so then the next program for careers in education, our organization for that is Educators Rising. And you just want to stay?
Yeah,
Well,
I'll stay.
that's for first place for public speaking is Nicole Meadows. Second place for impromptu lesson is Abby Hamrick. Third place in lesson planning and delivery in the arts is Brianna Brooks. And then our team placed third in teacher creative materials is Alexis Adair and Leah Lipscomb.
Did you get the pictures of them?
Well, you want to get them all?
That's just for this group. Yeah, this is for this group. This group's done.
That's all I can.
All right, okay, you're gonna have to, yeah, scoot on over this way, so it puts you right there about the middle. Okay, I think I can see everybody ready. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna take a couple, everybody smile. Okay.
All right, my name is Mrs. Kessler. I'm the nursing teacher at the Career Center. Mr. Odell, who is our carpentry instructor, and I are the co-lead advisors for our Skills USA program, which encompasses every program in our school have the chance to be Skills USA members. This year we had the biggest group of students that we've ever had, I think about 97 members this year, so we're super proud of all of our students and the great rise that we've had in enrollment. We had a ton of success at our state conference, so without further ado, I will begin to recognize those students. First, with a gold medal, part of our Teamworks competition, which included electrical and carpentry, Braden McGraw. Jack Chapman. Tyler Wynn. And Landon Beal. Okay, next, also with the gold medal for carpentry, Kendall Giles. Okay, also with the gold medal for construction tool identification, Christian Carpenter. Another gold medal for medical math, Chloe Cox. And our final gold medal for related technical math, Braden McPherson. Okay, next we're going to move on to our silver medals. In welding fabrication, Tucker Johnson. Aaron Johnson. And Keaton Strader. Another silver medal for Health Occupations Professional Portfolio goes to Michaela Lewis. And our final silver medal for Skills USA Prepared Speech, Kelsey Davis. All right, one more round of applause for our Skills USA.
All right, everybody's gonna have to scrunch in. Okay. Mrs. Kaufman, could you scoot over to your left just a bit? There you go. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, so while I'm here, I want to go ahead and present awards to two ladies who participated in the HOSA competition. I'm also the advisor for that career technical education group. HOSA, though, is exclusive to only nursing classes around the state. And we had two silver medalists for HOSA, and the first one is medical math, Stephanie Cole. And our next silver medalist for pathophysiology knowledge exam is Michaela Carr. Ms. Cooper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all right there. I'm sorry.
Women, girls, okay. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. So my last group that I want to recognize that I work with, along with teachers from their high schools and teachers from Glenville State College, are students who are going to graduate from high school this year with an associate's degree. So we have 4 graduating this year, and so I'll say their names and what. It's an associate's degree in general studies, but they choose an area of emphasis, and they've each chosen their area of emphasis that they plan to pursue. All 4 plan to go to Glenville State College after graduation. So I will start with Emma Johnson, and her area of emphasis is in business. Thank you. Stay up there. All right, next is Joseph Cooper, and his area of emphasis is land resources. He's mine. So. Next, we have Cyan Deal. Her area of emphasis is education. And next, we have Abby Hamrick, and her area of emphasis is also education. And I just want to say one more thing about these students. They had to complete at least 60 hours of college credits, and they all were sophomores when our schools closed for COVID. So they've all played catch up. Some of them have done this 60 credit hours in a year. So they work very, very hard.
When you two graduate, come back and see me. We got lots of vacancies.
That's all right.
Mr. Matfield Day.
Yeah.
Dr. Lee,
No, she's out, so we're going to be on Thursday. So, come on.
I think we need to give them one more round of applause.
I think it's important also to note that the 4 students who were just up here are leaving high school with a 2-year college degree, and in 2 more years, they can be full-scale college graduates. So we're very proud of them, and again, like Mrs. Atkins says, the education people, come back in 2 years, we've got a job for you.
Is Denise McGraw with us this evening? Come on up, Denise. You were having It didn't work. Well, we're going to start off here with recognizing our West Virginia History Bowl winners. These were the winners of our regional competition, which, how many years has Summersville Middle been the regional winners? Like 15 or something? Yeah, it's been a crazy number of years. If you remember, a few years ago, we had Mr. Belmont in, and he has since passed the torch to Miss McGraw, who has taken over coaching these wonderful ladies and gentlemen. Anything you want to say about the competition? I don't have the details on who they went up against or any of that, so I thought maybe you would have
So
that.
for the regional, big snowstorm hit, and we had to go independently, and the parents had to help us get there. So I want to thank the parents for getting us there and helping us get everything done. Then we went to states. They had a great time. They toured the Capitol, they toured the archives. They learned a lot. We didn't win, but they had fun.
You won the first round though, right?
Oh, we won 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right. You have certificates for these ladies and gentlemen?
I do. We could have Liam Clendenin. Isabel Conrad. Mia Jones. And Kaden McGraw.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Next, I'm excited to introduce our Regional Math Field Day winners. Math Field Day, as a lot of you know, is a lot of hard work, but it's also a lot of fun. And it's truly impressive that these students dedicate themselves to being not only good in their math classes, but going above and beyond and doing an extracurricular academic program like Math Field Day. So we're going to start with our 12th graders. Brandon Johnson, 2nd place. Abigail Lucas, alternate. Bobby Eckel, 10th place, representing 11th grade. Also representing 11th grade, Ty Kyle, alternate. Representing 9th grade, a name we've heard a few times tonight, Braden McPherson. Lily Thomas, 3rd alternate. Representing 7th grade, Owen Groves, 3rd place. Gavin Keenan, first place. Representing 6th grade, Noah Roberts, 3rd place. Susan Gilman, first alternate. Representing 5th grade, Isaiah Grove, 2nd place. Lillian Swiger, 3rd place. Third alternate, Madison Garrett. And lastly, representing 4th grade, we have Xander Bryant, first alternate.
Okay. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
You're good. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Every year I get the honor of announcing the service personnel and teacher of the year selected for each school in the county. And then as a whole, we have several reviewers who take all of the candidates from each school and they actually make multiple reviews of each applicant. It's actually, people would be surprised to see the rigor and the time spent in really trying to evaluate the county teacher of the year and service personnel of the year. I'm going to tell you, it is not easy. We have so many that are just deserving. I wish I could recognize everyone as the county teacher and service personnel of the year. I'm not able to do that, but I can tell you that you're all very deserving. I really appreciate the hard work that you do. You go above and beyond, and it takes everyone. It takes the service personnel, it takes teachers, it takes administration, it takes everyone working together to see the successes that we're seeing in Nicholas County. One of the things that we've been very fortunate of, there's 18 counties in the state of West Virginia that have low-performing schools. We don't have one, not one in this county. And that's quite amazing. And that's attributed to great teachers, great staff, great parents, and everyone working together. And we produced some great results. Last year, we had the highest number of students graduate with associate's degrees in the entire state. That's why the president of Glenville State College came to present awards to each of those students. This year, because of COVID, we did have a reduced number. We had 4. Next year, we anticipate many, many more. We have many more than anyone in the state. So we're really producing, we're seeing good results, and that could not happen without caring parents and great staff members. So I appreciate each and every one of you. So what I would like to do is first announce the teachers for each school that I'm going to ask you to come up and let me give you a plaque for each school. And then at the end, I will recognize the county teacher of the year, and I'll do the same for the service. So the first person I would like to ask for the teacher of the year for their school is Birch River Elementary, Teresa Conrad. I might keep them from getting scratched, I don't know. I can tell you that Teresa, over the past few years I've been here, she goes above and beyond for her students, and I greatly appreciate the work she does. Cherry River Elementary, Rebecca Humphreys. Golly River Elementary, Jennifer Altizer. And again, I can tell you in my dealings with Jennifer, she's always goes above and beyond. She's so strong, and I hope she doesn't mind, but she's one of our folks that's looking at the administration in our county. So we need strong leaders, and I'm appreciative of that. Mount Lookout Elementary, Carrie Siliverti. Panther Creek Elementary, Nikki Swiger. I don't know Nikki as well as her mama, but her mama I know is one heck of an employee and retired on us and come back to help us. But we hear great, wonderful things going on. She goes above and beyond in her classroom, phenomenal things going on in the school. Zela Elementary, Christy Lott Buck. Again, another always pleasant, kind, supportive, and goes above and beyond. Thank you. Ridgewood Middle School, Melinda Bennett. Nicholas County High School, Selby McClung. Selby is a phenomenal English teacher, goes above and beyond. Her students love her. She shows great compassion. Ridgewood High School, Mark Sanson. I never say her name right, but Nicholas County Career Technical Center, Beth Godey. See, I always say it wrong. Beth is another who always goes above and beyond. I truly appreciate everything that you do. Loves her kids for sure.
I do. Thank you.
Salad dressing.
Oh, she So that's it for the teachers. So if you can take a picture of them, and then I'll announce the service, and then I'll announce the teacher in the service. You ready? Where I could go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry, I got my papers kind of mixed up here. So I always, all right, drum roll. Teacher of the Year for Nicholas County Schools, Nikki Swiger. Back over here. And I'm going to read while she's up there. Nikki is a first grade teacher at Panther Creek Elementary in Nicholas County. She is a former computer programmer and adjunct faculty at the community college. Began substituting teaching 6 years ago. It was then that she was inspired to earn her teaching degree. She is a graduate of Western University, where she holds a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Master of Arts in Early Childhood Special Education. She is professionally certified in elementary education, pre-K-6, and pre-KK special needs. She is constantly seeking professional development opportunities and new methodology to ensure student success. She is a team player on her school's leadership team, chairperson for the safety committee, and a member of the wellness committee. She utilizes her technology background to assist with the school website development and maintenance. She models a commitment to developing bookworms with an appreciation for the written art by organizing book fairs and ensuring every child goes home with a book. Her goal is to provide academically rigorous, cross-curricular learning opportunities that ignite student curiosity and foster deeper learning. One of her favorite aspects of being a teacher is taking difficult lessons and making it engaging, pertinent to all her students. She enjoys creating lessons accessible to every student with individualization while capitalizing on student strengths and interests. She considers her greatest strength as a teacher to be developing relationships with her students, kindling their tenacity, and cultivating their critical thinking skills. Thank you, Nikki. We appreciate you.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you. Now for the people who make the schools work and helps. They do everything imaginable, from keeping our buses running, to cleaning the schools, to cooking for our kids, to answering the phones, to counseling, to doing flip-flops in the middle of the hallways to entertain. This is our next group. Birch River Elementary, Melanie Spencer. Always has a smile on her face and is constantly working. Cherry River Elementary, Heather Young. Heather, thank you. Appreciate all that you do. For Golly River Elementary, I hear nothing but praise for this lady, Nana Bragg. Glade Creek, Josh Meadows. Thank you, Josh. Mount Lookout, Lisa Pritt. Mount Nebo, Tina Schaefer. Panther Creek, Joyce Alexander. Summersville Elementary, Annetta Hanks. Zila Angel Jones. Thank you. Appreciate all that you do. Ridgewood Middle School, Tracy Adkins. I don't think there's ever been a time that I've talked to this lady that she doesn't laugh, smile, or giggle. Always a positive attitude. Love her. Nicholas County High School, Debbie Mullins. Richwood High School, Laura Beaver. Bus Garage, Ralph Zangari Jr. Career Center, Tia McMillan. Can decorate like no one's business. Central Board Office staff, Sherry Sparks Francisco. To the lady who hates having attention drawn to herself, who's very quiet, who's helpful and loves everyone, thank you.
Okay, you guys are going to have to scrunch.
Oh, we have to scrunch. Come on.
You have to touch. Ready? All right, 1. Oh, wait a minute. You coming in here?
Sure. Okay, go ahead, scrunch this way a little more. What are you trying to say?
She's not saying it.
It was okay before, wasn't it? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so Josh Meadows. Did I miss Josh? No, I got Josh. Oh, okay. Wait, did I miss someone? What about teacher? Teacher. Oh, did I miss someone? I think I did. No submission. That's all you have. I have no submission.
There was the meeting was today.
Okay, we're going to do another drum roll. Thanks for humoring me, please.
Were you in the band?
I was. Again, so difficult, so deserving. You know, several of these folks I've gotten to know over the years, just everyone's deserving. I'm just thankful that this passes through very many people before it gets to me. This person's probably one of the nicest, most unassuming, helpful, loving, caring, supportive people that I've ever met in my entire life. It is not a surprise to ever see them working till 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, Saturday, Sundays, very, very long hours, loves everyone, and works with everyone in this county, and it's my honor to name the Service Personnel of the Year as Sherry Francisco. I'm saying kind things about you, and you're back there fussing. She helps everyone. I know people were pretty proud to get right there and recommend you. Okay, you two scoot over so you're more centered. There you go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
We're going to take a 5-minute recess, and if you wish to leave, if you want to stay, well. I am reconvening the meeting at this time. Item 5 on this evening's agenda are action items. Actually, A, approval of the to place Neola policy section 7000 out for a 20-day comment period. We have not received that back from Neola yet, so we'll have to table that. And actually, we'll have to table item B too, because the section 9000, when Mrs. Atkins checked the folders, they were not out there electronically. So we're going to ask to table both. We'll just table both of those till next meeting. Any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to consent items number 6, and we'll begin with finance. Mr. Hess, if you would. You had payment of current invoices which you received electronically, and you have a sheet that Mr. Hess just passed out a few minutes ago of some additional payments to be made.
Do you have any questions on the payment of current invoices?
Really, it's kind of a short list this time, so.
Not bad, yeah.
Any questions for Mr. Hess in regard to the payment of current invoices?
Okay, so next item should be contracts. it's a contract with Pike Jones Group. There are auditors. There was no fee change, but however, there were some additional requirements that the state wanted from all county boards of education, which was the addition of a schedule of state grants, receipts, and expenditures as supplementary information. And so we included that in our financial statements. It wasn't in their original audit price, and so therefore there's no change, but it's part of the scope of the contract. So all counties across the entire state are amending their auditing contracts to include that requirement. So I'd ask the board to approve that amendment.
So is that the audit, for the whole audit, 17,410?
Kevin, normally we enter into a 3-year cycle with these auditors. Is this the first year of the new?
This is year 3.
Year 3, okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll be putting that out for bid this summer. Last section for finances are bids. We had one bid for outdoor classrooms in 8 elementary school locations. Funding is from the federal stimulus funds. And so low bid was $102,947.12. And so it's a 12 by 30 structure on a concrete slab. So it's quite substantial. And so we'd like to ask the board to approve Gonde Enterprise LLC.
That's for all 8 of them?
That's for all 8, yes.
We have 9 elementaries. I'm assuming that Somersville maybe was not in that.
Birch River already have one. They're not getting another
I
one.
think Birch. Is Birch the one you excluded? Or
At the time this was put out, see, Cherry River was expecting to get one anyway at some point. And we could go back and add one, but I didn't know where to put Cherry Rivers. The principal talked about it and said that the Cherry Rivers now will be one that we.
Is Birch River getting another one?
They've got that one down beside the greens, yes.
So they're going to get another one.
I assume they'll use treated material, lumber.
It's a cement floor, and the roof is all a canopy situation with metal, aluminum. There's no wood in it.
Oh. It's pretty durable, supposed to be.
that's all of the finance items.
Mr. Roberts, will you be monitoring the construction on those?
Yes.
Put in? And they're all designed similarly, I would assume?
They're all designed similarly. I met with every principal before we did it, and the principal of each school picked out the location, and we talked with the location, and with the principal and their staff picked the locations out.
That's all I have for finance.
Item B is out-of-state travel requests, and you received those electronically as well. The first one is Richmond High School, and a list of people there will be 30 students going to, the list of chaperones there, 30 students will be going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Kennywood Park, and that is one school bus, and that's on May the 26th. And you have a second out-of-state travel from Nicholas County Career and Technical Center. Tanya Cooper and 5 students are going to Washington, D.C., June the 23rd through the 27th, and they will be going via the state charter bus. Any questions in regard to those out-of-state travel requests?
Well, 5 students on a state charter bus. I wonder how big is a state charter bus, or what is that?
Tom can explain. That's the bus that's chartered by the state.
The state chartered one bus to pick up all of our winners.
Across the state. Multiple schools will have different,
okay.
it'll be multiple.
Okay. Okay.
Any further questions in regard to the out-of-state travel requests? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve consent items A and B as presented this evening?
Make the motion.
Mr. Berry moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mr. Amick seconds. Any further discussion in regard to consent items A or B? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. Mrs. Atkins, Madam Superintendent, members of the board, is there a need for an executive session relative to personnel matters?
No.
Mrs. Atkins?
All right, you have before you the updated personnel agenda. I did kind of want to explain. These postings came down on Friday. I went ahead and listed them on the agenda anyway, in case, this time of year, teachers get snatched up pretty quickly, in case that we would have a recommendation. I am happy to report that some of these we had multiple applicants for, so they'll be having interviews in the next week or so. So for several of these, I will be having a recommendation for you on the 16th, and some of them will be reposted. So all of page 1, we're going to strike until the 16th. On page 2, Megan Bales, employee in the position of chemistry teacher at Richwood High School, effective upon WBDE approval. Aaliyah Gerwig, employee in the position of special education teacher at Nicholas County High School, effective upon WBDE approval. This is one of our student teachers. She just completed her student teaching here in Nicholas County Schools, so now she will be going to work for us. And then I struck the remaining positions under service. Lori Holdren, employee in the position of custodian 3 at Richwood. That should be at Richwood Middle School. Strike the elementary there, effective with the start of the 22-23 school year. I removed the cafeteria manager for Cherry River. I will have a recommendation for that at the next meeting. Tamara Brown, employing the position of one-on-one transportation instruction aide 2 for a student currently enrolled at Summersville Middle School, effective with the start of the 22-23 school year. On page 3, under professional extracurricular, Wes Brown, employing the position of head boys basketball coach for Summersville Middle. Lisa King, employed in the position of Summer Soul site coordinator for Richwood Middle. Removed the Summer Soul tutor positions. I believe they had multiple applicants, so I anticipate that we will have recommendations for that at the next board meeting. Matthew Morriston, employing the position of Summer Driver Education Instructor for Nicholas County High School. And J.B. Miller, employing the position of Summer Driver's Education Instructor for Richwood High School.
Shall we dance?
Too much commotion going on.
Yeah. Under service extracurricular, Lita Boggs and Kim Backus, employing the position of Super Scholar Cooks, effective at the direction of the Child Nutrition Director. Under consent, add 5 days to the contract of Patricia Neal, Secretary at Richwood High School. All of our secretaries at the high school level have 220-day contracts. A couple of years ago, she voluntarily reduced hers to 215. So by adding the 5 days, we bring her into line with the other secretaries, and she did request that. And then Roy Vickers resigns his position as custodian at Summerville Middle School, effective June 30th, 2022, due to retirement. And on page 4, you have some leave requests, which I will not read out loud to protect the privacy of our employees.
And I believe the second one is supposed to be Nicholas County High School. It's listed as Summerville Middle School. I believe that's Nicholas County High
Where?
School, if I'm not mistaken. Leave request.
I'll double check it, but
Yeah, he's at Nicholas County.
He's Nicholas County High School.
oh, he is, okay. Okay.
Mrs. Atkins, at some point in time, I'd like to do a little training session for us on about the, when coaches serve at if they're certified by teaching or if they're certified
Sure.
otherwise. I think we need to be updated on that process, how that works.
Sure.
And actually, the number of coaches that we have are actually teacher employees or employees in the system.
Okay.
And that type of thing. So if you could just, a little informative session for us, I appreciate it.
I'd be happy to do that.
Question. Kim McPherson left RHS, what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago.
And that position's been open all this time, but it has been taught by someone else. the county.
We've had substitutes in there since, and it's been posted continuously.
Does that person have a chemistry major?
Megan Bell, she is a physician's assistant, so she has a master's degree in whatever it is to be a physician's assistant.
And she's passed her practice.
And she's passed all the practice
So she's
exams.
eligible.
She's my niece.
And she's been subbing in this position,
Able to
and
abstain.
she does an excellent job.
She's
Well, she
very
meets the
intelligent.
requirements, so.
Yeah.
Any further questions for Mrs. Atkins in regard to personnel? I'm assuming, Mr. Amick, you want us to break that out into 2 votes?
You know, probably you should. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will abstain.
If there are no further questions for Mrs. Atkins, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve Megan Bales for employment in the position of chemistry teacher at Richwood High School, effective upon WVDE approval. Can I have a motion to that effect? Mrs. Kaufman moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mr. Berry seconds. Any further discussion on the employment of Megan Bales in the position of chemistry teacher at Richwood High School, effective upon WVDE approval? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And do we have one abstention? So, Madam Secretary, let the record reflect that on the employment of Megan Bales as chemistry teacher at Richwood High School, there were 4 votes in the affirmative, and that would be Berry, Kaufman, Moose, and Penix, and 1 abstention, and that would be Mr. Amick. Now, I will entertain a motion to approve the personnel list with all other employees as presented, with the exclusion of Megan Bales.
Mr. Moose is laughing at me.
I didn't know.
All right, is there a motion to approve the personnel list with the exclusion of Megan Bales?
I make a motion.
Mr. Berry moves. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mrs. Kaufman seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. At this time, we will move on to superintendent information. Madam Superintendent.
Okay. We're continuing to work with architects and construction managers. I have a weekly call, a minimum of 1. It's usually a daily call with the construction managers and/or architect. And on Friday, had a lengthy work session on looking at policy 6200 and the requirements, looking at square footages for the schools, and they're continuing to work in making adjustments to meet the minimum of 6,200 for the schools. We have a, so that's about what we stand.
The architect is moving further with
Yes.
meeting what the board voted for in the,
Yes.
I think it's March 21st.
Yes, working, and like I said, they are working, they have teams on. I've stressed the urgency, and they have teams dedicated to, our schools only, so
They're working on both sites.
both sites.
Have they not reached any definitive conclusions
Not as of
about
yet.
what they plan to do after a month?
They plan to meet 6,200 guidelines.
After they meet policy 6200, are they going to, like, put, like, add-ons, some of the stuff, if the bids come in, like lower than they're anticipating, that we can add some of the things back in
Yes.
at both sites?
Yes, at both sites. What they're looking at is to look at the minimum in an effort to fall within budget. And then if our bids come in under budget, then they're also looking at alternatives. But one of the things that I've asked, and I know that this board stressed, we don't want things deviated from what the community has seen as far as the pictures and the look and feel of the schools and the, so they're looking at materials. It's important that we have flooring that doesn't require stripping and waxing and things like that. That's just harmful chemicals. And, if we can get away from that, we want to get away from that. So they're looking at different floorings, they're looking at different materials, they're looking at different options to help us make budget, but not only make budget, but to meet, we have some of the materials are out for a period of time, upwards of 92 weeks. 92 weeks. So in knowing and following the trends of materials where we're having difficulties in getting that across the United States, they're looking at other options that would be as good and maybe be more readily available.
Do we have to pay them additional for that, or is that still under contract with them?
Clarify, I'm not sure what you're asking.
The architects, do we have to pay them additional funds for what they're doing right now?
Yes, we'll definitely have to pay them for their continued work.
Does it look like the price of things has dropped in?
Some things are starting to come down slightly. So, at this point, they just showed me a variety of materials. Some came down, some were, just a small percentage, increase. Some was higher percentage increases. There's just, various things that are just going to be very challenging to get, and the prices are extremely high.
We're not the only county, I'm assuming, faced with this.
No.
SBA has to put out bids every year for needs projects and actual other, there's two phrases. When I was superintendent, they had two different types of programs. The needs program is where you have the actual construction of new facilities.
Yes.
And they have to be, I would assume, experiencing similar problems elsewhere.
Absolutely. Across our state, they're facing similar problems. Projects are coming in way over anticipated bid prices, and it's not just West Virginia, but it's across the United States. It's not something that's just unique to Nicholas County. We're facing the same issues that everyone else is facing.
Do you know, are they accepting those bids or are they rejecting them?
There's several that will be brought before their boards later this month. And from my understanding, some are they're so far out, I think there will, I don't know how some boards will be able to approve those. I don't want to speak for other boards, but, we talk to other superintendents, and there's going to be some real challenges because
If they can't meet budget, they'll have to redesign. So it's not something that's unique to us, it's going across the state. So people are evaluating, just like us, when we got our bids. It takes time to evaluate those bids when they're open, to figure out, what can we do, what's the different types of things. The School Building Authority did put a memo out last year that talked about meeting the minimum of 6,200 guidelines. And once you build a school to 6,200, and if you're still having difficulty in meeting the budget, then there's opportunity for assistance from SBA. So it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed, but there's opportunities. So I think they're going to be looking at a lot of schools. I was told there was about 20, I'm not 100% sure, but about 20 schools across the state that are facing the same problems that we are facing. So I anticipate, someone's going to have to take a look at what's going on to see where there's opportunities to help. We may not need any help. We may be okay. We had the extra money, and we were trying to go above and beyond for both school projects. But if the money's not there, then we need to fall in line and meet the policy requirements, and that's what we're working to do.
I think you hit the key statement there when you said we have some extra money by the 428 plan. But it probably won't be, I don't know, I hope it's sufficient.
Well, we had enough to, redo 5 schools and retrofit 2, so essentially 7 schools versus 3, so there was a lot of extra money. But even with that extra money, we wanted additional bells and whistles. So, it's not like anyone's going to be shortchanged, but will we have the extras? No, we will meet policy 6200. There's some things that, the wood trusses at Cherry River, does it call for wood trusses in 6200? No. But those are just some niceties that I believe need to remain, and we look at that. There's some things like that. I want our schools to be nice, attractive, something that our students and our communities can enjoy and appreciate for generations to come. And I just believe with thoughtful planning and the architects working so hard on this, I feel confident.
For the listeners, I'd like for you to explain, you said 6,200.
Yes.
We know what that is, but someone may not know.
That's a policy that is presented by the State Board of Education, and it outlines building sizes, and it provides you with room sizes, lots of different things when it comes to building new schools, new school construction. And that's what we use, that's what counties use across the state when planning new facilities. And then the School Building Authority, they use that as their guide in evaluating whether schools are meeting the policy guidelines or not.
I was just going to say, I think it's really important to point out, like we all know this, but those architects are working on 7 schools, basically. It's not just any school. They're designing 5 new schools and renovating 2 existing schools. So I think we need to remember that will take a little more time than
It's
an
a huge
architect
project.
just designing one school.
It's a huge project.
Policy 6200 is minimum standards allowable by the School Building Authority, correct?
Recommended standards. Not by the School Building Authority, by the State Board of Education.
Yeah, okay. Are they concentrating at Glade Creek on the area where the school itself will be built?
It's only the school. There's no athletic fields, there's not anything else. It's only the school building.
I'm having trouble hearing.
It's only the school building.
Yeah, that's where they're working right now.
The architects?
No, the engineers.
Oh, you're talking about the actual,
Yeah.
No, I don't know. They're just working their contract.
On the whole 115 acres, or shouldn't they be concentrating on the school area?
Well, we have
Till
a
we see what happens?
Well, we have a contract. No, I mean, there's no reason to alter the Glade Creek contract with with M&H. There's no reason to alter that. I wouldn't recommend altering that. We need to go forward with exactly the way it is.
I think that's what they would be working on right now, because that.
They were gonna do the pad for the school
The pad's
first.
supposed to be finished by
Yeah,
the
it's
end of
to be
May,
done
so I would
first.
say that's what they're working on,
Because
mainly what they're working on. Because they have to have it finished by the end of May.
Yeah, they're working on various parts. The pad is the area that they're working on, but again, there's no reason.
There's no reason because we didn't reject anything there.
No, their
We took
contract's
it in.
been approved. We need to go forward.
That was before
Inflation.
inflation.
That's right.
Any further questions for the superintendent on her update?
Maybe you said it, but did you say there was a projected date when we would hear some of the plans?
Yes, the architects told me Friday when I spoke with them, they're continuing to work. Next week, they're going to provide an update to me, let me know their progress. So my goal is by the next board meeting, hopefully they'll have some stuff that they can bring forward and present.
But it'll be sometime later in this month.
Yes, it'll be in May.
Okay.
And when we see that, we can put our 2 cents in and
And then they can go forward.
an
The
update.
board has to.
Well, the
okay it.
board's already approved of 6,200. I mean, they're going with 6,200 guidelines, I mean, that they would share with what they've done, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, we're anxious to see that.
I certainly understand, we voted on March 21st to move to this meeting the 6,200 plan, or reducing the buildings to the 62, policy 62 level, to 6,200. And there's a lot of things they have to go back through in those designs that they've already done, assuming that things were going to be okay and we could move forward with the schools above 6,200 at that level. So there's a lot of work that's had to be done, I'm sure, of the redesign of this, extensive work. And a lot of man hours go into that from their team of engineers and architects that are working on that. So, but I'm glad to hear that we're going to hear sometime in this month.
Yes,
We need to get
they
something.
assured me that they would have it, everything, they would have things ready to present to the board in May, is what they assured me.
So they're coming to present to the board?
Yes, yes.
Any further questions for the superintendent on the construction update?
If we said we would stick with the 6,200 standards, then that means we're not going to apply for a waiver. Is that correct? We're not going to apply for a waiver to 6,200 standards.
Is that, I
Well,
don't think that's their
At
intention.
this point, no, I've never made any type of recommendation to apply for a waiver.
Well, I asked that question before, and you said you could apply for a waiver.
You asked if we could, and I'm telling you, yes, that is an option. You can apply for a waiver. I have been never asked to apply for a waiver, and I've never insinuated that was something that we should even consider. But if you ask, can we? Yes, we can. I'm not making a recommendation to do that.
No, I made exactly the same statement. I said, are we going to stick with policy 6,200 standard?
I said as best we
And
can.
You said, yes, but we can apply. No, you said, no, we're not going to say that because we can apply for a waiver.
Okay, we can apply for a waiver. At this point, there is no reason to apply for a waiver. It's not my desire to do that, and again, there's a guidance document that was presented that said that counties could, ask for additional funding if they meet 6,200 guidelines. So it's important to note that, property sizes, and of course it's been brought up before about property sizes at Cherry River, and does it meet an acreage and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. As far as our current structure of what's being presented, I have no intentions of asking for a waiver. What we want to do is we want to look at policy 6200. Now, that's what I've presented all along, and that's what I'm still presenting, to reduce those sizes to the point that we need it. And
Are you saying that if we meet policy 6200, and then, heaven forbid, they would come in a little over again, that maybe we could apply for some additional funding?
that's what, there is, yes, there's an SBA guidance that's presented to all county boards that says that if we are at 6,200 and we're still beyond, we're still over, then there's an opportunity to request funding.
From SBA?
From SBA, yes.
Not FEMA? SBA.
No, not FEMA, from SBA.
Key to it is we have to meet 6,200 guidelines.
The key is, yes, that's correct. So, and that would be my desire if we have any type of issue like that. But the architects are working hard and they feel confident that we can get where we need to be.
We still have to approve everything. The board still has to approve everything.
Well, you've already proved it to meet 6,200 guidelines.
I think what he's asking, when the architect brings it in, the plans.
I mean,
When he brings it in, it's going to be policy
it's
6200.
going to be
Is that what you're saying?
6,200 guidelines. It's going to meet 6,200 guidelines. So anything beyond that, unless you say, okay, well, you know, those roof trusses don't, you know, that's in addition to 6,200. We don't want those in there. I mean, I can't imagine you doing that. And I asked them to give us the minimum of 6,200, but still try to keep some of the nice features that would be within reason. So they're looking at that because I want the schools to be nice. We have to be able to afford them, but I want them to be nice.
They will be.
They will be nice, yeah. I mean, they felt confident about it. We're going to have some really, really nice schools.
Any further questions for the superintendent regarding the planning and the construction update? Hearing none, thank you, Madam Superintendent. Reports, item 9 this evening. The SESC, we did have our meeting this past month. We mainly spent time on proximity learning, which is, you know, we belong to the Southeastern Educational Consortium. They provide proximity learning for several thousand students across the state. We have students in our county that participate in that. They are counted as our students, and whether they're receiving part of their education through that or all of their education, we were able to count those students in our student enrollment. And they're expanding that program a little further as far as subject-wise and I think grade level. I'm not sure, was that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But anyway, that was mainly the main discussion of that meeting, and we meet again this month. Bright Horizons, Mrs. Kaufman.
Yes, we did meet, and I did confirm that we have 4 students that are attending there now. I think they said there was probably 2 from Richwood and 2 from Nicholas that were attending there, and they were very excited to have them there. So great. They didn't get to go like when COVID was on. So they're very appreciative to have the 4 back. And it seemed like the students were happy to be there as well.
That's good. Anything else?
Nope, that's all.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, any delegations?
No, sir.
Thank you. Item number 11 is items for future agendas. Hearing none. Item 12,
Future meeting dates, you have Monday, May the 16th, Monday, June the 6th, and then Tuesday, June the 21st. That Tuesday meeting is because it's a state holiday. State Day is on June the 20th. That's a Monday. So we'll be meeting Tuesday, June the 21st, and that will conclude all of our meetings for this fiscal year. Also, you have before you a calendar of several events that are coming up, and it sticks in my mind that there's a choir and band concert this week at one of the schools. Madam Secretary, do you know?
Central Middle School has only 16, no, that's all I see.
I thought it was Nicholas County High School, but I think it was tomorrow night. There's a choir and strings concert, maybe tomorrow night. Madam Secretary, if you could check.
I'll double check and
let us know.
just check your emails. I'll let you know more.
Thank you. So you have a list of events there. Of course, the two that you certainly want to note is the 20th is Nicholas County High School's graduation starting at 7 p.m. at the Armory. And then on the 23rd is Richwood High School's graduation starting at 7 p.m. at Dean Memorial Field. I'm assuming that if there's rain, it'll be in the gymnasium over there, the Red Brick Gym. Oh, one other thing. All of you received this from the Career Center. It's the 5th of this month at 1 p.m. at St. Luke's Activity Building in Craigsville is the 2022 Career Technical Center Recognition Ceremony. That's Thursday, 1 o'clock. We've reached item 13 of our agenda this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting? Mrs. Kaufman moves. Is there a second for motion?
We want to stay. No. Second.
Mr. Berry seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Madam Secretary, we're adjourned at 6:25 p.m.